from the bottom. Back up every bottle, mixing that with someone like my mama knew I had a problem. Wasn't thinking about no rapping, I was looking for $1. Putting quarter pieces in the black of piece and make it holla holla. No police in me, I got the piece to me, I got to holla. Keep the decency and making TNT my product. I'm a CEO, MPTO, innovator, energizer, inner city, bullet fly till that bitch on autopilot. Bitch, I don't give a fuck about your about. All I care about is wearing out your arrogance, tearing out your upper body when I get you walking at your business. Peace, 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 family. How are you all doing today? That was a nice little joint from Kendrick Lamar and Kanye West. I seen it on YouTube. I don't know. When I don't see things in mainstream, I never really know if it's real. You know, people be on here doing mixes and stuff, but I actually really like that. And it goes to what we're going to be talking to today with the two twins in there. We'll be talking about the Gemini energy just a little bit, not too much. And so I thought it was relevant to play that song. And then we will be doing the full moon total lunar eclipse. Okay. This energy is going to be wild, y'all. I'm just saying. I don't even think we're going to see the full effects of it until June 3rd, once Mercury comes out of retrograde. And then we have July with the Uranus conjunction. And then in August, we'll have the Mars is going to enter into Gemini. And along with Jupiter being activated with Aries right now, at this Pluto eclipse, this is like explosive, you know, like Pluto is like the atomic bombs. Mars being the ancient ruler of Scorpio is like bombs, right? And we put them together, it's like the death of something, you know, the destruction of something. And so this can be a pretty explosive energy, to say the least. But nonetheless, you know, whatever it is coming up at this time is meant to be. And for the people who have been doing the work and doing their healing, this is going to be an amazing time for you. Like, you're literally going to feel like you're on top of the world. So without further ado, my name is Keisha. I'm the owner of A Way of Life. I am a career and business coach using astrology. Today, we're coming on here to talk about the Scorpio full moon happening on the 15th or the 16th, wherever, it depends on where you're at. It's happening pretty late on the 15th, so I just say the 16th, like whatever. But I named this the power and vision to overcome obstacles, right? Because Scorpio is meant to show us how we are always transforming, right? Scorpio rules transformation, death, rebirth, which is kind of like the same thing. And then the big money, finances, debt, all your government money that you get, and taxes, insurances, inheritance, and people you owe money. So these are like paying off your bills and things of that nature. So a lot of things could be coming up around those themes. Or it can be like the psychological conditioning that you have from childhood that you are, you know, trying to break free from. This could also be the healing piece, you know, where you're doing the psychology counseling, or, you know, kind of where you're taking what you need and leaving what you don't behind on this new journey that's being offered with all these Aries energies coming back up. So putting an end to things that are confusing, intense, and complicated, right? because Scorpio kind of becomes the investigator, the detective, and the researcher. And so really digging deep into figuring out the mystery to the problems that you need to solve, that's going to get you to purge and release and let go so that you can elevate into this phoenix rising energy, right? And so if it's not counseling or studying psychology or, doing the divinations, which is astrology, numerology, palmistry, intuition, building up and knowledge of self, of those things, um, you know, it could be the spiritual practices and things from that Pisces end, which is like the ayahuasca or some kind of spiritual practice or belief that you have that's helping you through this, or your kind of intuition or faith, faith in a higher power, and kind of surrendering to that by way of, and inadvertently, when you surrender to a higher power, it kind of brings you into your intuition and shows you which way to move, right? Because if something goes wrong, you're going to be like, no, I don't want that in my life anymore. I'm going to move this way and see what happens for me if I try this, so there's kind of that dichotomy going here with the Pisces and Scorpio energy playing out heavy. So let's get into it, family. Like, share, subscribe. Share if you think this information is helpful to you or anybody else. Sharing is caring. And as you know, when you do these things, it helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you haven't already. We would love to have you as a part of the crew, and we appreciate you in advance. Make sure you hit that notifications bell so that you can be notified every time we go live. All right, family. So on a global scale, we're letting go of power and control, toxicity, pollution, right? That goes back to the kind of atomic bomb that I was talking about from that Pluto and Mars energy playing out here. It's the clearing of that, like fire kind of clears out all of those things in a sense. This could be betrayal from institutions, like all those loans and stuff we got back from 2020. They're already asking for their money back, even though those were supposed to be 30-year loans. I wouldn't trust any money from the government at this time, to be honest with you, because I don't know how they're still giving out money. Like, where's the money coming from? But inflation is right around the corner, and the way they're going to try to get all that money back is the same way they did it way back when, by bringing in all the people, the immigrants, right? Making them work, putting them to work, and that kind of avenue they're going to play on this and try to have them do all the things that they typically will want us to do, but for cheaper. So there's kind of that being played out here, which, they already did that and it didn't work. And so it's like, I don't think that that's going to really work this time around. Like, I think they're in pretty bad position more than they're letting on. And it's quite scary to see them scrambling like this and not just dealing with the truth. Like, they said they was going to help pay off the loans, the student loans, which is very Scorpio kind of energy. And I'm just like, at this point, dude, like, I wouldn't trust them if they're saying they're doing anything, because they're going to come back sometime down the line like, yeah, remember when we gave you that loan? I'm going to need you to pay that back. Like, that's what they do. So there's kind of that energy going on here with that. This could also be crime, for sure, can rise here, especially with Mars. And once Mars moves into Gemini, So Jupiter in Aries is going to expand this Mars energy, right? And then Pluto's already a big energy. It's an eclipse, for God's sakes. You don't get any bigger energy than an eclipse. And once that energy gets reactivated on that lower vibration, this is crime on the streets, guns, weapons, war, knives. This is why I told everybody they need to go check out that Mars video that I did and broke down. Because it's like, it's crazy. I definitely did a Mars and Gemini video for the 2020 videos if you want more, but I will be breaking this down when Mars goes into Gemini in August 20th, I think, to be exact. And so this is definitely going to heighten these themes: crime, mobs, the mafia, politics, because that's what it is right now, right? That's all crime, mob, mafia, all those things now is, politics, period. I rest my case. There could be a lot of legal stuff here with that Jupiter activation law. This could be universal law, do unto others as you want done unto you type deal. So karma here, karma. Oh my God, even with Pisces, is very karmic by way of the fact that you can do things from different timelines, different dimensions, past lives, and things of that nature come up. Pisces rules the paranormal. I talked about this when I was talking all about Pisces energy, so there's this kind of energy of where you have to go to get over something. You got to go through it, right? That's all those movies that are about, like, ghost stories and things like that, that whole storyline is about, in order to deal with your bad dreams, your kind of monsters under the bed, the deeply rooted things that you need to heal and get through, you have to go through it, right? You have to address those things. Don't keep stuffing them underneath the bed or in the closet. Open up your closets. That's what the decluttering is for. The detoxing is for. That's what the you clean out your colonoscopy, you got to do all those things, because if you're not, it's just building up, and it's like parasites this is going to activate them to come for you in very abrasive, uncomfortable ways. I mean, we're talking about Mars, Pluto, and Saturn here. Like, these are heavy hitters in the sign of Capricorn, none the freaking least. And Saturn, who's in its ancient sign of Aquarius, like, Look, let me tell y'all something. If you don't deal with these things that are coming up now, they are going to eat you alive, literally. I talked about the death and how we've had so many different deaths now with what is his name? Kevin. I mean, that man looked like he was ready to live another 30 years. You trying to tell me out of the blue, he's just passing away? There's nobody in this world that can convince me that these planets is not playing a role right now. Like, that shit's fucking crazy. It's crazy. Like, I talked about this in the Pluto and Capricorn video. We're going to see a lot more deaths. And like, these people who are in these lower vibrations, they're not mentally, like, they're not going to be able to stand this. They are going to fucking lose it, right? They're going to lose it with all the stuff that's going to come out now. It's this very unstable energy, very unstable energy. And so, secrets of the rich and powerful can come out here. Again, more politics. This could be investments and banking, the new dollar, food, inflation, like all those things that I've been talking about since 2020 are coming up in major ways. Like I mentioned before, and when we have that Uranus conjunction in July, that's just going to be wild. And then you have Gemini moving into Mars moving into Gemini August 20th. And then in June 3rd, once this retrograde ends, it's going to reactivate this eclipse and the Taurus eclipse, but specifically this one right here with that Jupiter and Aries activation. It's going to be a hot summer, y'all. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a hot summer. And so on a personal level, we're letting go of addictions, obsessions, compulsions, the psychological and emotional attachments, right? Especially things from the childhood and society, right? All those kind of programming that they have instilled in us. We're kind of trying to detox and separate from those things, let those things go, that they're no longer allowing us to elevate in this energy the way Scorpio wants us to, right? And so Scorpio is the deep roots that we don't see, just like Pisces, it's the deep waters that we don't see. You know, what monsters do you have under your bed and in your closet? What trauma have you been through that has completely warped your mind to think that what you're doing right now, like the ego does so well, right? The ego will tell you this toxicity and these lower vibrations and being trifling is exactly, that's what life is supposed to be like. Clap it up, right? I'm telling you right now, family, if you don't deal with these things, it's going to eat you alive. It's going to eat you alive. Yeah, these are going to be things that are going to come up that just don't feel good anymore. You know, people are tired of being in this repetition, this hamster wheel of bullshit. You know, people want something new, fresh, exciting. And that's what the Jupiter and Aries energy is trying to bring into you right now. But you have to do the work, because as much as Jupiter gives blessings, it only expands on the energy that it is the energy of karma. It rules karmic law. This is like the Kabbalion now we're talking about, you know, doing the right thing and living a life of righteousness and uprightness, you know what I mean? And it's not to say that there's not that spiritual warrior energy. And I've talked about this in other videos too. This is not about letting go of letting people walk over you or not speaking up for yourself or none of those things like that. I've said this before, that I have my things that I like to do that are my whole ratchet life that I want to live, right? That freedom, because Pluto kind of brings up your desires. This is everything that, you know, the quote unquote devil is all representative, oh my God, as a representation of, you know, it's the deepest desires that we want to do and live out, but the society doesn't really support those things, right? And so it's about how can you do those things in a way that is still respectful for you and everybody else, right? It's not what you do, it's how you do it. And so that's what we're trying to get to here. Whatever those deepest desires are, it's like, forget about the people who don't want to do them. Where are the people who want to do those things that you want to do too? You know, start there and start fulfilling people, places, and things in your life that represent the change that you want to see in your life, right? And the more we work on that and be intentional with that, it changes your reality, right? I did go and see Dr. Strange, and spoiler alert, I'm not going to go too deep into it, but this literally was everything that Pisces and Scorpio is trying to teach us, right? It was the representation. I mean, as soon as the movie started, it started off with a dream, which wasn't a dream, by the way. He was just dreaming about another dimension. And he didn't find that out until later in the movie, but that is Pisces energy and all the energy that we've been working through with Pisces. So the key here is not to forget the lessons that Pisces is trying to teach you, that even when chaos is going on around you, peace, be still, have faith. believe in something higher than yourself and know how to move, pivot, pivot your way right up on up out that thing, okay. That's not where I want to be. I want to be over here where things are more balanced, clear, straightforward. And, it's stuff like that happening here. And I think Dr. Strange I was so proud of him. Like, I was so proud of him. He did such a great representation of the Phoenix rising energy. He played his role the whole step of the way. He was such an example. If you really want to know what the Phoenix rising is, do what he did, even though people was talking about him. They were accusing him of doing these things. He never filtered. He listened. He understood. He even had to fight a little bit. So like I was saying, this doesn't mean that, you got to kiss ass and not be able to defend yourself. For sure, those times, and probably a lot more than we can foresee right now, are going to come up, right? But he never took his eyes off the prize, which was that little girl in that movie. And that whole movie was about saving her. And he stood his ground, very respectfully. He even was the bigger person and went to his ex's marriage. How many people would do that? He got a chance to even heal that even later in the movie and say sorry, like what he wanted to do before, was he's already been kind of going through this transformation, like I was talking about in the beginning. Scorpio, you're always transforming. You're always changing and being challenged to do things differently than what has gotten you into the situation in the first place. And we've seen him change. If you're a big Avengers fan, of course. I'm talking about him like I know him and y'all know him personally. Oh my God, it was such a good movie though. But he had been transforming through every single one of those Marvel movies. He learned something new and he put it into action and he mastered it, right? He is a true magician. He knows how to manipulate energies and he really got a chance. He showed up and showed out this time, but so didn't Wanda, right? Which is the twin energy I was referring to in the beginning of this, and that Mars and Gemini energy. It's got that two sides, it's got the angel and the devil. And so what she was going through was her deepest desires and she was wanting them, but her problem was that she was willing to kill for them. So killing metaphorically, meaning, what toxic habits and things are you doing that are keeping you in this cycle of pain and despair of not seeing things for what they really are, and you're not really living the life that you could be having. Now for Wanda, it was really a difficult situation for her because she had just went through trauma with the Avengers Endgame, right? And Thanos came over and killed her, the love of her life, that she clearly seen a life with, because in her other show, she created a whole world with them both in it, where she has 2 kids now. So she was just trying to get back to her 2 kids, but she was willing to kill for it. And that's what made it the dark night of the soul and really unhealthy and toxic, right? And to the point where she even said it in the movie, like, I've been lying about, when Dr. Strange went to go see her, she was in this place where she's picking flowers. You could see this in the trailer and it looks all peaceful. That was a lie. Like, she had created this whole world to make everybody think that she was over the stuff that she was doing with the city that she took over. She took over a whole city, like. And so there's this metaphorically is just saying, what lies are you trying to keep, or what lies are your ego trying to keep you in to get to your truest desires? Are there other ways you can do that without hurting anybody or yourself, and really assessing and becoming the detective and figuring out what that is for you and what it's going to look like moving forward, right? And so can Wanda have another life? Sure, it just won't be with her 2 boys and her husband. I can't remember, Vision. It won't be with them. She'll have to create a life with somebody new, but she had to see that for herself and accept it, take accountability for it, and end it in order for that new life to come in. And that's kind of what we are all going through. I don't think it is any mistake that movie is being played in between these two energies. I'm sorry, you can't convince me that these people don't be knowing what the heck they're doing, which, by the way, is very Pisces. Pisces rules Hollywood. They know our secrets. They put our secrets in all those movies, so the best way to get over something is to go through it, address those demons, whatever they are for you, however they're showing up in your life. And so then you'll have the Sun in Taurus and Uranus in Taurus that has been shaking things up, not nearly as bad as I think, like I was saying before, in July, when Uranus is going to conjunct this energy here. Yeah, you haven't seen anything yet. This is where the food shortages and things are going to come in. But then it's also like trying to get us back to the simple things in life, what really matters, and getting grounded in that. This is your true calling. What is it that you're meant to do here? How can you do that smarter, not harder, right? Because Taurus is a very serene sign. Don't get me wrong. Tauruses work their ass off for whatever it is they want. These are your true talents and skills that you do, that you're good at, that brings in income, but is there a smarter way to do this, right? Because we've been doing it the Pluto and Capricorn way. Clearly, 2020 showed us that was our illusion, right? We were stuck in that whole paradigm, living that hamster wheel, knowing deep down inside, didn't nobody want it. Like, it was horrible. It was painstakingly horrible, right? And so now that we're out of that illusion, what is it that you can do that's not that strenuous, that's more to your desires and what you truly want, and your values, your self-worth here, and not just your values, but your core values like family, legacy, things of that nature, building like everybody else gets to build in this country or world except for us, right? And so there's an era of that going on here where we're inadvertently given the opportunity to get those things back. Now, there can be some strong emotional responses to this. I told you, those toxic, low vibrational people, you have people in your life who are slowing you down and bringing you down and holding you back from getting to your truest desires. They are not going to like the fact that you're about to stand up for yourself. I'm telling you that right now. It could be you acting out, not liking that people are leaving you. I'm telling you right now, this is deep. We're talking about gut-wrenching deep things that subconsciously and unconsciously, we don't even know we feel that way. That's just about to come up and show out the moment people start stepping into their power and their truest desires. I promise you, watch, mark my words. Y'all gonna come back on here like, yo, Keish, it's crazy. People coming for me, low key, saying smart ass shit, trying to bring more destruction in your life, I don't know. We will be getting support from Pluto and Mars. Neptune on the lower vibration, which is Pisces, is going to be questioning if things can really be that simple. And old habits and patterns are going to come back to test you. So again, people coming into your life from your past, trying to remind you of the nigga shit you used to do to take you off your game. Remember, peace, be still. Remember the lessons you learned from Pisces energy. I'm trying to tell y'all. This could be really exhausting because Pisces does rule sleep, right? And Taurus even can be a little bit laxed and move slowly, right? This is about a serene kind of movement here, something that flows and there's no, hiccups and bumps and, it's really asking you to surrender to your spiritual will. You know, inadvertently, when you surrender to something higher than yourself, it helps you move, right? So if you run into some kind of problems, you're going to be like, oh, that doesn't feel good, I'm going to go this way. Hey, thanks, but no thanks. This is the direction I need to go to. Clearly, I don't need to be going that way. You know, it's that intuition, that inner knowing that this isn't for me because it doesn't feel good, right? Pluto is going to be there to tell you, like, you're ready for this confusion and slow down energy to get clarity and perspective to see things from a different view. And then you have the Saturn T-square that's been running all year, by the way. This is going to be reactivated at this eclipse. So do we continue in the old or the new, right? Because I talked about this before. Saturn Capricorn is old, and Saturn, which is currently in Aquarius, is the new. Whatever you want is up to you. Like, you could choose to go whichever way you want to. But to step into the new adventure, you're going to have to take initiative on the dreams that you've been dreaming of with that Pisces and Jupiter energy. And we still have to be really careful for the new, because Saturn Aquarius on the low vibration is all the technocrats wanting to do the robots, running your life, doing it, taking all your jobs, and all that stuff there. And even if you wanted to stay in that old energy, it's going to be taken from you at some point. I say we probably got maybe about 2 or 3 years before it actually all goes down. And I've talked about this. I did a video on Pluto and Aquarius. I'd go check that video out. It's going to give you the times of when to expect these changes and all that stuff, because I think we're right on the heels of it. We don't got much more time, family. So self-employment, becoming an entrepreneur, having your family values, changing that for legacy building, taking control over your life and not letting these people run your life, getting out the hamster wheel. I'm telling you right now, you'd be well to start learning and educating anything that you think that you need to at this time, to start changing those things now, right now, because that change is coming. And they're still going to be trying to control us by way of, you'll have everything you want, but you will not own any of it. And that is literally the death of legacy building. You do not want that, family. You do not want that. So I'm sure shit's going to go down with that. You know, pick and choose. You'll be able to follow people and know everything about them just by passing. But I think I talked about this. I think I did I talked about this during the Great Conjunction video, where they have like these smart cities in China supposedly already built up, where you could just have like a little chip in you and it'll come up and show you everything about that person. Like, it's wild what they have plans for us. But either way, with this energy, there will be more clarity in the areas where you have been transforming. This can be around the group dynamics, people we know, the people we work with, and what you need to do on an individual level. You know, where do you need to detach so you can see your long-term views? And how can you see those things in other people? Or rather, you will have the intuition to see those things in other people so that you know whether or not you want to work with them moving forward. Is this somebody that you really want in your life? And so going back to that Pluto and Capricorn energy, when it was asking you to elevate back then your values, when you first meet somebody, you want to know right out the gate, what are your goals? And what are you doing to reach those goals? If people can't answer those questions, and I guess there should be more, and they're more specific and, dedicated to what it is that you truly want. I'm just using that as an example. Doesn't matter. People don't have the answers to the questions that you feel like you need in order for them to be in your life. And you're like, okay, it's nice knowing you. That's the way I feel like it's going to be moving forward. Globally, we can see more mandates and that whole storyline coming back out. It could definitely be more about the shots, although I think COVID is long. Let me be more clear. It could be more about COVID, but I think it's more about the shots and the aftermath of that. Definitely going to be bringing up more things about work, obviously, and how and what they're going to do moving forward with all of that. This could be more contract work or self-employment that becomes more popular at this time. And I talked about that in the Jupiter and Aries video. Companies merging. I feel like there was a few more that happened throughout the period of the last time I spoke about it, and they never fell through. And then we have this dude, what's his name? I know y'all know who I'm talking about. The dude who owns Tesla is just bought Twitter, although I don't even think that's still confirmed yet. But we'll see. So, I think we're going to see more stories like that happening for a bunch of different reasons. But like I said, the technocrats they're trying to take over the world now, which could be very, very dangerous because they're a little, they want technology to do all the ruling. And I don't think that's the best way to go. I know it's cool, the Jetsons and all that, because I was excited about it myself. But after I've done a lot more research, not so much. Not so much. I don't want it anymore. Pineapples, I take it back. So, there's a lot of developments going on, and that's going to come out a lot more and more too, especially once Saturn is out of Aquarius next year, February, I think. It could be March, but I'm pretty sure it's February. So we don't got much longer, family, for the takeover. I'm telling you right now, we're literally on the heels of this change. So the food shortages and all that other stuff I was talking about, the inflation, all those things, we're likely to see all of that now. And then lastly, we have Jupiter sextile Mercury, which is thinking big and taking action on your dreams, new beginnings and connections that are more passionate, more life connections, even past life connections that are going to feel very familiar and awesome, like alignment, like people who are on the same page as you, which is going to be absolutely magical. And to be honest with you, I think they're going to be like, I can't wait. That's all I'm going to say. Like, I can't wait for those opportunities to come in. And anybody who's ready for those opportunities, just June 3rd, be ready. Still do your work. Get some rest, because this shit's about to like fly. Like, it's going to be so dope, though. As much as I've been saying some really crazy off the wall stuff, like overall, this is going to be a force to be reckoned. This is going to be like another 2020, where all you needed was just one opportunity. Somebody fucked up and gave you the right opportunity and you just take off. This is that moment. It's another one. It's like the next stages to that. So if you took off in 2020 and took all those opportunities and did the right thing with them and found yourself in a little bit of a pickle, right? You just need another little inch. This is it, baby. This is it. It's takeoff time. And so, Life is gonna happen. Things are gonna come up, but for the most part, this shit's gonna be dope as fuck. As usual, family, I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.